Welcome to the botany class, and today's topic is plants, organs, or stems. And stems are connecting the roots and leaves. So the leaves are producing the organic substances with the uh, with the process of photosynthesis, and roots are obtaining the minerals from the soil. So, and stems are used to connect these two non-reproductive organs. Uh, and actually, the roots, stems, and leaves are three organs from which the non-reproductive or vegetative uh, or vegetative uh, uh, plant consists of. And the roots consist of uh, uh, the different parts, including the following: the buds, so here at the top, so this is a twig of the woody plant. The uh, uh, the stems can be herbaceous or woody. So this is woody, and so the woody stems are uh, woody stems are surviving the winter, and uh, can grow much in the circumference, while the herbaceous are usually uh, green and will die during the winter season, uh, and usually are uh, small in diameter. So this is a twig of the woody plant, and this is a bud that will give rise to a flower or a side stem. And this is particular bud. There are two buds here. This is a terminal bud. And the next section is uh, the part of the stem that will grow during the 1 year. So this is a scale. So the this place, last year the bud was here, and then now it's here. So, and this is the 1 year growth. And then there is a node here, and then the another node, and place between the two nodes is the internode. And this is a leaf scar. Uh, so this is a twig, and you can actually uh, calculate the age of this twig by counting the number of the bot scars. So the main functions of the stem are uh, uh, support of the leaves and reproductive structures. So this is the first one. The most stems are upright, and that allows leaves to absorb more ultraviolet to make photosynthesis. So second is providing transport for the water and minerals and the organic substances. So the roots absorb the water and minerals, and they uh, pass it through the stem to the leaves. So leaves can make a photosynthesis and produce carbohydrates. Uh, so and third, stems produce new living tissues. So uh, the buds are usually the place where they start to grow, and uh, they grow from in two directions. So they grow uh, in length and breadth. So this bud actually is the diameter is uh, bigger on the top on the bottom than on the top. So on the top is the is smaller. So and also this is the growth to the side growth, and also it is a growth to the in the length of. So this is like first year, second year, and third year. So so the two type of the growth: increase in the width and the or circumference, and increase in the length. So the length is usually more is longer. So increase in the length is longer, is more prominent than increase in the circumference. So all plants have the primary growth, and then some of them also have secondary growth. So the primary growth is common for herbaceous tissues. Uh, so and secondary growth is usually uh, in woody plants. So some plants also have a reproductive stems that use asexual reproduction, and some stems are also store of food, uh, or uh, can also photosynthesis, to make a photosynthesis, but those are limited. So there are two types of the stems: herbaceous and woody. And herbaceous are differ in structure depending on if they are eudicots or monocots. So the eudicots have this kind of structure. So the structure is different, but usually all the stems have an outer protection layer that is called epidermis. So this is usually one layer of epidermis that protects the tissues. And then they also possess vascular bundles. Here the vascular bundles are with the xylem and phloem, and they also have some parenchyma tissues. So this is a eudicos or dicots structure. It is herbaceous, and the epidermis is outer layer, and it covered with a cuticle that is a boxy layer to reduce the loss of the water. And this is the vascular tissue. So if we increase this part, we will see the structure, and actually this is epidermis here, and then this layer is a cortex, then the vascular bundle, this is large vascular bundle with a phloem, and so the phloem, this is the phloem, and this is xylem. So phloem is for organic substances, xylem is for the water and minerals. And here we can also see a thin layer of the vascular cambium that will give growth to the vascular tissues, and these large cells are vessel elements. So and this is a xylem, so vessel elements, xylem. So together this is a vascular bundle, and between them this is a pith. So this is a pith, and here also these cells between the bundles is a pith. Pith is a parenchyma cells for storage. And yes, here the phloem cap. So this is a phloem, and this is a phloem fiber cap. So these different tissues, you should remember them by heart. uh, the the monocots are different. So if you look under the microscope, you can easily distinguish between the dicots. This is dicots or eudicots, and this is a monocots. Because monocots uh, monocots uh, have a scattered uh, vascular bundles. So if in dicots vascular bundles are arranged in a circle that is outer side, then the monocots vascular bundles are scattered throughout the stem, and everything else is the same. There is a epidermis layer around, there is a ground tissue, like there is no pith in the center, but same ground tissue, parenchyma cells, and uh, the vascular structure is looks like a alien. So like two eyes, nose, and the mouth. So um, and this alien face is actually here. It is a phloem, and this is a xylem. This is a xylem, and then this uh, is the air space, and here the bundle thread. Uh, the airspace here is the place where the xylem elements are formed. Uh, and white is ground tissue. So this same, like around here is white cells are the ground tissue. So the monocots are a little bit different, but still have the same tissues, but they are arranged a little bit different. Uh, so this is actually particular the tissue of the Zea mice that is uh, a very common in agriculture. Uh, the difference in monocots is that they don't have the lateral meristems, uh, and that is why they don't have a secondary growth. Uh, so they only have a primary growth, so there is no bud and root. The woody plants uh, have a secondary growth, unlike the monocots, and they increase the circumference of the stems and roots. The secondary growth is usually uh, because of the lateral meristems, that is a vascular cambium uh, here, and the cork cambium. So, so this is actually a secondary growth in aortical stem, but the same is in the woody plants. So, the in the woody plants, we have a vascular cambium and also a, uh, a cork cambium. Cambium is not seen here because it's very thin one cell layer. I will show you later, I think. So it's not seen here because cambium is already destroyed by the growing bark, but still the cork cambium and vascular cambium. Vascular cambium is actually here, seen here. The cork cambium is destroyed because of the pressure of the growing tissues. So we'll discuss that later. Uh, the woody plants have a secondary growth, and they include two types: flowering plants, that's like an apple, and also the gymnosperms. Gymnosperms are mostly pines uh, and other conifers. Uh, and the cells of the vascular cambium produce and divide uh, into the secondary xylem, that is wood. So this is a cambium, and this is a secondary xylem, or the wood that is used to produce the furnitures, for example. And also the secondary phloem. This is a secondary phloem. So cambium is located between them, so that is why it gives growth to both. And secondary phloem is actually in a bulk. Uh, the primary xylem and primary phloem uh, are replaced, and then uh, that will allow to plant to live longer. The outer cells is a periderm, that is outer bark. They raise from the cork cambium, and cork cambium will provide cork cells and cork parenchyma. Uh, so they can together they are called the periderm or outer bark. So the both diplomas have a bark and that is there are two types of the bark: inner bark and the outer bark. So this inner bark is actually secondary phloem, and it produces from the cambium, from vascular cambium, and the outer bark is a periderm that is produced from the cork cambium. So these are different very much. Uh, the uh, so the vascular tissues of the woody plants are close to the herbaceous eodicots. Uh, the the vascular cambium uh, is continuous, and the uh, the cells between the vascular bundles divide constantly, and they connect the vascular uh, bundle to form a complete ring. Unlike in the herbaceous tissues, they are in the bundles. So this is a cambium, and it grows in two directions and produces daughter cells. Uh, uh, and so every daughter cell that is divided, one of the cells will become a secondary xylem or secondary phloem. Another cell will remain a cambium. So that is why the division is continuous. And the vascular cambium is also increases in number of the cells, and um, as the stem increases in thickness, uh, and the that also increases the tissues that pushes the tissues that are outer side of the layer, and the secondary tissues replace the primary tissues in function. The uh, so if we look from the top on the cut of the radial view, we will see vascular cambium cells that are dividing. So this in blue are the vascular cambium cells. So, and here also we can see the vascular cambium, and so if we start here, uh, uh, we can see the begin of the secondary growth, and this is the first division, and this is the second division. So this is the xylem, this is the phloem, and then again xylem and phloem, and that actually increases. So this is the first, second, third, and fourth. The tissues of the woody stem have a pith in the center, like audicles, and also primary xylem here, and then there are 3 annual rings. So this is a 3-year woody plant. So, and this is a xylem tissues, so with the annual rings. The rings seen because there is no growth during the winter. And then the vascular cambium is one layer. Thin layer here is a vascular cambium and secondary phloem. So these bundles are secondary phloem. And the outer side is a periderm and remnants of the primary phloem, cortex, and epidermis. So all that is actually now a periderm and protects the layers that are inside. The same structure in the schematic. So the pith, primary xylem, secondary xylem. So this is a pith, primary xylem, secondary xylem. So xylem, so this is the first year growth, second year, and third year. Then the vascular cambium and secondary phloem. Primary phloem is somewhere here, and cortex also. Yes, we forget about cortex. And cortex is not good seen here. So actually cortex then cork cambium. So here it is, everything is in the corridor. So remnants of the epidermis, because epidermis is completely destroyed during the because of the growth of the tissues that are inside. So, and then also cork and epidermis is usually not seen. Sorry. Uh, then the uh, the secondary growth occurs in the vascular bundle, and that is split apart to the secondary growth. So this is a vascular bundle. If you increase in size, you will see the piece, primary xylem, secondary xylem, and then the vascular camera. Then secondary phloem, secondary primary phloem, and phloem cap and cortex. So the secondary growth occurs here. So we can see that cork cells are destroyed, and cork cambium will give rise to the secondary growth. And this is the cut of the wood. So if you cut the tree, you will see this annual rings, and there is two types of the wood. The sap wood is whitish and hard wood. Uh, so the difference is that the sapwood is a functioning xylem that will have more water, and hardwood is a non-functioning, almost dead cells only with the annual rings. So these are annual rings, and if you count these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it's about 25 years old tree. So this is non-functioning or hardwood, and actually is more valuable part of the tree. So this wood is more, this part is more expensive because most of the furnishings are produced with the hardwood, from the hardwood. And we can also see that from this part that the south is on here on the top, that this direction here is the south because the rings are larger here, and this is the north is on the bottom, so south is on the top. So if you are lost in the woods and you don't know where is the south and north, and you don't have a Google Maps in your phone, or your phone is dead, you can cut the tree or find tree that is cut already, and then you can easily find the direction uh, to uh, escape the woods and not to die. Also, we can see by the uh, by the uh, size of these rings, you can see if the year was good or bad, if the weather was good or bad. So if we look at the structure of the annual ring, then we can see this. So these small cells are summer wood of the previous year. So if we cut a section here of the 1 year growth, so increasing the size, and we will see this is the previous summer wood and this is the spring wood. More water, that is what spring wood, and then this is the summer wood again. So less water summer, and then this is a vascular cambium and secondary flowering here. So this is actually 1, 2, 3, 3-year tree looks like this. So 1, 2, 3, 3-year, 3 rings, 3-year old tree. And if we cut the wood or cross-section wood, we will see this race V, V-shaped race, and we will see the annual rings here, and also here if we cut the radial section, we will see this race and these annual rings. So in the radial section, they will be different than in the tangential cut. So this is V type rings in the tangential cut, not from the center but from the side of the wood. And nowadays there are so little trees remaining in the world, and that is why the deforestation is a global problem, and deforestation is decrease in the number of forests. So only little bit remain in the Brazil, Congo and Indonesia. Other forests are almost completely dead. So thank you for your attention and see you next week. So the lecture is over. If you don't have questions, see you next week. Bye bye.